Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite real estate guru, your favorite lawyer, your favorite land talk that is here again. Uh, Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and thank you for coming to my channel. For those who are just subscribing, for those who are just watching for the first time, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification button so you get notified whenever I upload another video. So today I will be talking basically about title and documentation. How, because a lot of people have been like, I don't even know what it means for a property to have freehold. I don't even know what it means for a property to have deed of assignment. I don't know what is C or 4. I don't know what's governor's consent. So today I'll be talking about those things so that you would understand what you're selling and understand what it means for a property to have a certain title and everything. So basically, I would start by talking about measurement of land. You get sizes of properties and their measurements and every other thing. So let's start by talking about size of land, understanding the sizes of properties and measurement. Most people who purchase land in Lagos and elsewhere don't really understand the meaning of these real estate terms, and as such, potential buyers who wishes to buy and build may not really may not really want to buy from them because they don't understand what they are doing. Like personally, me, if I'm buying hair, like human hair like this from you, and you're wearing synthetic, I would not want to buy from you because I feel, how can you be selling human hair you're wearing synthetic? You get? So it's necessary for you to know what you're doing, for you to understand measurement, understand documentation to enable you to sell well. So most people have this problem. Then in Nigeria today, land are measured in acres, in meters, and in feet. There are different ways to measure land today in Nigeria. These measurements are affected by a lot of factors, which include developmental patterns, human environment, and factors. Human and environmental factors, I mean to say. Let's start by talking about sizes in Nigeria, standard size of a plot in Nigeria. Let me start by analyzing the standard size of a plot in Nigeria. The size of a plot can vary from different reasons, and according to Nigeria Land Division, the appropriate size of a house is supposed to be 50 by 100. That's the appropriate size, which is the one that accommodates a standard house. 50 by 100 can accommodate a standard house. So I think the appropriate size of a house is 50 by 100. But you know, there are other ways apart from the 50 by 100, and in some parts 100 by 100 is the standard plot, and in some part of Nigeria it's 50 by 100 that is the standard plot. A plot of land in Lagos is 60 by 100. That's the standard plot, and it's measured at 8 meters by 36 meters. That is 648 square meters. That's the standard plot of land in Lagos. But these days, most companies will not tell you approximately 600 square meters. That's what they are selling for you as a standard of plot. And how to know how to measure property? The basic one is a plot. Then 6 plots make 1 acre. Then about 15 plots make 1 hectare. I think something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So let me go into details of what I'm bringing to you. So what I'm bringing to you today is documents and title. The first we should start with is survey plan. What is survey plan? A survey plan is a document that measures the boundary of a parcel of land to give an accurate measurement and description of that land. That's a survey plan. It measures the boundary. The people that handle survey issues are the surveyors. Me, I'm a lawyer, so I really don't handle survey issues. And this you can go and do it in the Surveyor General's office in Lagos. And the survey must contain the following things. There are some things that must be seen in a survey for a survey to be valid. And one, the name of the owner of the surveyed land. If the owner's name is not there, that survey is not valid. The address or the description of the surveyed land, or you like the address. Okay, this land is at number 5. This one, this street, or this is plus this. If it's not there, then that survey is not valid. The size of the land survey, it is 400 square meters, it is 120 square meters, it is 100 square meters, it is 500 square meters. It will be written there. It will be a drawn out plot for it to be valid, and this plot should be mapped out. Then there must be a beacon number. It's impossible that you do survey without a beacon number, so every survey must have a beacon number. The surveyor who drew the plan must date, like the surveyor must have it dated, I mean to say, and there will be a stamp showing that the land is either free from government acquisition or not. Do you get? So how to even know a land which has a encumbrance? Men looking at the survey, you would even know. Though you know we have dubious people. A land that has a encumbrance will tell that it does not have. If you check, that survey is not registered. Any registered survey must show these things I just told you. Then legally speaking, a registered survey is not a title to land. I always tell people, you see, when most of our realtors they are advertising, you don't ask them what title, they say deed of assignment and survey. It is not a title to law. It's not a title to land. I've always said it. It is not a title to law, to land, I mean. But however, it is an important document in a land transaction that gives credibility to the land for a number of reasons. It's very important because it's something you can, like, it only gives you, like, it lets you know a lot of things about the property, but it's not a title itself. First credibility that it gives to the property is that it shows the person whose name appears on the survey plan, that is owner of the land. Like, a survey plan shows that, okay, the person, if my name Omoene Victory is on the survey plan, it shows that Omoene Victory is the owner of the land. The person or company who has the support document shows that the land in question is theirs. Yes, the person who has the document that corroborates the survey shows that it is theirs. And secondly, it shows the land in question is free from government acquisition. I just told you. Every registered survey tells you if the land has issues or not. And there is no encumbrance on the land, and the land can be free to be bought by the new owner. So with a survey plan, you can know if, okay, this land is under acquisition, or this land is not under acquisition. With a survey plan, you can know if you should buy a land or not, but it is not a title to land. So another thing I'll be talking about today again is deed of assignment. A lot of you have heard about deed of assignment. A lot of you have been asking me what's deed of assignment, what is it all about, what does it entail. So today I'll be telling you, a deed of assignment is a document. It's a document that transfers of interest from the buyer to the seller. Or I would better say, a deed of assignment is an agreement between the buyer and the seller of the land or the property in question. And the buyer is the person showing that document showing that I'm getting confused. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to like bring it down to like your standard so that you guys can a little bit understand me. Okay. So it's just something that is a title that transfers document. It shows that, okay, the buyer is the one that bought from the seller. This is the document that will give them the epitome of title and everything. That's what the deed of assignment does. The deed of assignment, therefore, is an agreement where an assignor states his promise that from the date of the assignment that this property has been transferred to the assignee. Though most times the deed of assignment is not dated, they just say this deed of assignment made this dash year or dash between The deed of assignment contains very important information about the estate transaction. For one, it spells out the date when the ownership of the property transferred from one person to another. The deed of assignment gives specific information, gives specific description of the property that includes the transfer of ownership. In most situations, when a deed of assignment has been exchanged between both parties, it has to be recorded in the land registry. Like if you notice, you will now discover that the owner asks, what title does this document or this property has called a registered deed of assignment. When you see it as a realtor, when you see title registered deed, this is what they mean. The deed of assignment that has been registered is called a registered deed. It has to be recorded in the land registry that shows legal proof and it has been exchanged. That the exchange and public should be aware of the transaction. So once a deed of assignment is not registered, it is not a legal document. It is a mere document. It is upon registration in the land registry that you will now say, okay, this deed of assignment now has a legal interest, or it shows a legal proof of this transaction. An unregistered deed does not have a legal proof of transaction. The deed of assignment spells out the key issue in a transaction between the seller and the buyer, or there won't be confusion or any assumption that the property has been transferred to a new owner. The deed of assignment is one of the most important documents you must have, which include a land. When you are having a land transaction, is the most important document. See, without the deed of assignment, there is no land transaction, because it is the document that transfers title. It's the document that transfers interest in land transaction. So once there is no deed of assignment, there is no transaction. I think I'm black. I don't understand. Maybe stress of the other week. Yeah. So, what do I have to say now? Make sure that you have a deed of assignment. Make sure any property you want to sell has a deed of assignment. They are always the first to complain that Omonile have defaulted. You are always the first people to complain that Omonile have defaulted me. Omonile have sold down to me and we sell to somebody else. Why would Omonile not default you when you don't have deed of assignment? You should, why would you go and buy Omonile land when we have estates that are selling properties in Lagos that are protecting your interests from resellers? So make sure when you buy, even as a client, if you're a rector, tell your client when he buys, he should quickly do a deed of assignment and try as much as possible to register it, because the law says when two equity conflicts, first in time prevails. So when there are conflicts of interest, you may buy first. Maybe me and Mercy, we bought plot A, and I bought in 2010. Mercy bought plot A in 2015. Mercy went to register her deed in 2015 or 2016. Then in 2020 now, Victory and Mercy were having clash of interest and we come to court. The court will ask you who came first, who registered first. Forget the fact that I bought first, who registered first. So long as Mercy can prove that she's an innocent purchaser for value without notice, the court gives verdicts to Mercy. So please be warned, do not make that mistake. Buy your property and do perfection ASAP. It's very important. It is one thing to pay for your properties, another thing to do documentation. But the good thing is that in estate properties, things like this, they hardly arise. So that's why it's good to sell estate properties. Then number 3, okay, most of the properties that is good to sell, okay, a property that is under freehold. Okay, let me tell you what freehold is. Freehold is not a title in law, but let me analyze freehold for you first. Before the Land Use Act, freehold can be used as a title in law, but the Land Use Act came to abolish freehold. So freehold is no longer a title in law. Do you get? But most of the properties that have freehold, they usually have deed of assignment and survey. So once you see a property with deed of assignment and survey, it is safe, and they wrote freehold, it is safe to sell it, because with that deed of assignment, you can use it with that registered deed of assignment, you can prepare your CFO. But if it's not freehold, means it's under government acquisition, my dear. It brings us to the next thing we want to talk about: execution. A property with government acquisition shouldn't be sold with deed of assignment. In short, personally, I don't like selling execution in progress. Anything can happen. So let me talk about execution. The land use decree on the 28th of March 1978 vested all land in the states in the hands of the government. I think section 1 of the Land Use Act now, I think section 1, I think so. Say section 1 sub 3 or thereabouts. I don't know if I'm quoting the right section. It's been like 400 level when I did the Land Use Act. But I think it's section 1 sub 3 that says that, well, I know it's section 1. I don't know the sub that says that all land in the states is being held by the government in trust for the citizens of the state, something like that. I know something like that. I can remember. I know we're cramming in 400 level and everything. So by that session, what it means is that every land in this Lagos state or in Delta state or in Edo state or any state you are is being owned by the government. You are just like the land is not actually your own. You are just like somebody, okay, you are looking at the land, but the original owner of all the properties by virtue of the land is that is the government, and that's why it's the government that gives you C of O, and that's why the government gives you 99 years C of O. Do you get? So by virtue of this one, the government can actually acquire all the properties, like can choose to acquire any property at any point in time. Do you get? The government of every state can choose to acquire any property at any point, so as long as he wishes, he wants to acquire it. And if a land has a what's it called a C of O, compensation will be paid for acquisition. Do you get? So the government can even revoke a C of O. I think it's section 26 that gives the government the right to revoke C of O for public purpose like schools, road, and so on. So the government can even revoke C of O to tell you the powers the government even have. The land users have empowered the government with a lot of power. So let's come back to property, to that C of O. Let's come back to the ones we have in the Ibeju Lekki. So the government can acquire a piece of land. First of all, let me just analyze what it means for a property to be extinction in progress or something. When the government acquires a particular area, a particular vast area of land, the community will now apply to the government. Okay, why will you now acquire our entire land? What will our citizens, what will our children farm on? Where will we stay? We cannot just acquire all the property we have. What do we use as a state? What do we now use to build our house? Do you get? So when they do that, the government will now say, okay, let me give you back this portion of land. Let me excise this portion back to you guys. So when that portion is now like returned back to the community, there will be a survey that will be mapped out. Okay, so and so portion has been returned to the community, to Ikegun community, to any other community, to Victory community. Okay, then when that portion has been mapped out in the survey, you will now apply for a document called an extinction. Is when this extinction has been granted, the government can come and wake up again and say, okay, I want to acquire this land again. But if you do not have extinction and the government acquires it again, there will be no compensation. But once there's an extinction on that property that has been gazetted, if the government reacquires it, they will not pay you compensation, like the present worth of the property. So it takes a long process, let's not lie. But when an extinction has been gazetted, they will now pay you. 1 minute. So fortunately, the government recognizes the indigenes from different sectors of the country and have the right to own property. They have the right to existence and the rights, like the right of their birth, like being born on the land makes you the owner of the property. So we're talking about extinction anyway. So the government knows that, okay, because you are born in so and so place, or because you are born in Lagos, or because you are born in Ibeju Lekki, you have a right to this property in Ibeju Lekki by virtue of your existence or by virtue of your birth. So the government is aware, and they are aware of that fact that, okay, being born in this place now gives you these rights generally. So hence it is customary to state that the government has the right to portion the part of the land that was acquired back to the natives, like I just told you. So that portion that was given back to the natives is now what we are going to apply for an extinction. I just said that before I went offline. So sorry, I'm always going offline. So sorry, I'm always going offline. A lot of people are coming in and out of my office. So extinction basically means taking the part of a whole that has been given out by the government for free use. It will be recorded that it must be documented and published in the official gazette, which I will explain for you. In other words, not having an extinction means that the land is being seized, can be seized by the government anytime without compensation, even if it was bought legitimately from the Bale or from the original dwellers. The land can be seized by the government. I've explained that already. Extinction in progress is not complete until it has been gazetted. Until it has been gazetted, extinction in progress is not complete. Hence, after an extinction has been given, the extinction is then gazetted. And this is what leads me to the next title I'm going to be talking about, which is a gazette. A gazette is an official record book where all special government details are spelled out. details and I spelled as detailed and recorded. So once an extension has been granted, it will be gazetted in the national dailies. So extension is not complete until it has been gazetted. That's why you see, as a reader, you see some of document will say extension in progress, it's still in progress. Some will say extension, it's yet to be gazetted, and you see some government approved gazettes. You see it as title. If you're a reader that really go through the FAQs and read the flyers, you will notice these things I'm talking about. It will sound familiar as I'm saying it. So a gazette will show the community or villages where has been given a section and the number of acres and hectares of land that the government has given them. It is within this size acres or hectares that the traditional family are entitled to sell their land to the public and not outside those hectares and acres. So if for instance a gazette has been given that okay, in the survey plan will show you that okay, from here to here has been gazetted, so it is within that gazetted area that you can now sell, as that the community can now sell. So anybody who buys an ungazetted part is at the floric office. So that's why I said it's not even safe to buy a station in progress. But in Lagos we are taking risk. I bought a station in progress. It's better to even buy the one that has gone into a station block, because at least you know that okay, any moment when it will be approved, you get. But it's not even safe. Let's not lie. But we are selling it. Me, I even bought. I even bought the one that the station just started recently. Me personally, I bought. So it's just that we are all taking risk. And the good thing is that we are buying from companies. So when anything happens, the company would, like, if you check your subscription form, that's the FAQ, you will see where they told you that if there is a loss as a result of the company, not from your fault, the company would give you a property worth the same value you get. So that's the good thing about buying from estates and not buying from money link. Gazette is very powerful, like I just told you. If the government, based some reasons best known to them, to revoke a gazette, you will be entitled to compensation. I've said that before. So you'll be entitled to compensation as long as it's within the excised parts. You get. I've said that before. The best way to know whether a title is under acquisition or has an exception is that it has been covered by the gazette, it has been covered by a gazette is to get a surveyor to chart the best way to know that a land is under exception and it has been covered by a gazette, to tell the surveyor to chart the site and to take it to the surveyor general's office to confirm if it has been like gazetted. It's very easy. You just take it to the surveyor general's office. You can just ask for the gazette number, they'll just input it. But the one has gone digital, so it's very easy to know if a land has been gazetted. A gazette is simply a publication made by the government that so and so land has been allocated. So and so land, so and so location has been excised. I told you it's a publication. With a gazette, you can process a CFO. Like with that document called the gazette, you can use it to apply for CFO. That's for land under acquisition. For the ones under freehold, with your deed of assignment, your registered deed of assignment, you can use it to apply for CFO. So that brings me to the last document I want to be talking about. Okay, after CFO, I'll still talk about government consent. That's not the last. So CFO is called Certificate of Occupancy. A lot of people do not know what CFO means. It means Certificate of Occupancy. It is issued by the Lagos State government and is officially leasing the property for you for 99 years. Like I told you, the government is the original owner of the property. So CFO is like a leasehold given to you. So if you are reselling, if CFO is like the government is leasing a particular property to you, and it's usually for a limited period of time, which is 99 years. So after 99 years, you have to apply for another CFO. You get. So as already indicated above, all land belongs to the government. I've told you that before. By section 1 of the Land Use Act, all land belongs to the government and they hold it in trust for us. A CFO, however, is an official recognized document for demonstrating rights of land. I think that's the best document anybody can transfer. What happens after the 99 years? Yes. The question is subject to debate. The question is a subject of debate among experts. Most have adopted a wait and see attitude. Others have postulated that as the new owner of the land, you the buyer can renew the certificate of occupancy when it expires. This makes sense, but for now it's largely a case of we shall see when we get there. It's true, because in the land is that I don't know. I don't think 99 years has even reached the hand. So those who have gotten CO, I don't think. But let's just watch and see the new. Definitely, law is dynamic, so they will make a new law to like suit into it. For now, I don't think any CO has passed 99 years, but that's so good they go until we reach them. So we have another thing called global CFO. Global CFO applies to a large expanse of land. So if you notice some of the estates, they have global CFO, while individual CFO applies to a particular plot or a few plots of land. Buying a land with global CFO does not have any effect negatively, or what the buyer can do is to go and do governor's consent so that the CFO can be like, so that its own plot can have its own name. You just go to the do governor consent. When you are even buying a property with CFO, you have to do a governor's consent to transfer interest when you are even buying a property of CFO. So when you are buying the one with global CFO, you still do same governor's consent. It's the same thing. It does not have any negative effect on a buyer, because the buyer can either do a CFO, because the buyer cannot do another CFO. Like particular land cannot have two CFO tickets, so you have to go and do government consent. Do you understand? Like, are you following? Like, particular land cannot have CFO. One question I usually get reoccurring is client asking if CFO can be done in their names. I've seen these questions a lot, and even my downlines ask this question a lot. My client is saying that the CFO, he wants it in his name. It cannot be done. The property that already has a CFO, you cannot do two CFO. The only thing you can do now is to do governor's consent for that property. The other question I also get is that how long does it take? No, global CFO or CFO, we are covering several parts of land owned by different people can appear for as joint application. It's two ways. If the land already has a CFO or a global CFO carrying a particular name, say for example, the global CFO covers all estates in Abidjan, Lekki Coastal Association, another CFO cannot be issued again. A parcel of land can never be issued more than one CFO. Like a whole estate cannot have more than one CFO. Even if you are the governor, you cannot give yourself another CFO. That's just the truth. And that's what the law says. So if a CFO has been given, it applied. If a CFO hasn't been applied for at all, the client can choose to apply for an individual CFO, and usually takes like 24 to 36 months. It takes a long time, depending on a lot of factors, change in government, clinical. In other words, the first person on the land is the only person or group of persons entitled to obtain a CFO. That's the first owners. They are the only ones that are entitled to have a CFO. Every subsequent buyer of the land must get governor's consent. But if the first owner doesn't have CFO and he wants to reassign, just know that he's going to reassign an equitable interest and not a legal interest. So you that have an equitable interest, you can go and apply for a CFO. You get? So don't get me wrong. So there can only be one owner to a certificate of occupancy on that land, and it will not be replicated for any person once the land has been given to, like once CFO has been granted to somebody. And for the land to be sold, you have to do a governor's consent. The power of the governor to consent on such transaction can be found in section 22 of the Land Use Act 1978, so as amended, which let me just tell you what it is. I think I wrote it down. It it shall not be lawful for the holder of a statutory right of occupancy granted by the governor to alienate his right of occupancy or any part thereof by the assignment, mortgage, transfer of possession, sublease, and otherwise, whosoever or otherwise, howsoever, without the consent of the governor first, and without the consent of the governor. So you cannot even mortgage, you cannot sublet, you cannot sell, like transfer possession, that sell like, without the governor's consent. That's what section 22 of the Land Use Act spells out. So with this power, the governor has the right to grant consent of any transaction which he thinks has. The government has the right to grant consent to any transaction which he thinks does not contravene any aspect of the law. Tricket. So I think if the consent has been obtained fraudulently, the government is entitled to revoke such consent. I think so. I know so. I think I know so. So, these days I need to do fake driver's license. So if a governor's consent has been obtained fraudulently and you can prove that it was fraudulently obtained, the governor has the right to revoke such consent. So QED. No, I think I have something to say again. With this power, the governor has the right to grant consent to any transaction which he think has not contravened the law, and which he think has not contravened the law of the land. And if the consent has been obtained fraudulently, the government is entitled to revoke them. I think I've said that already. Okay, that's all for today. I remain your favorite real estate guru. So okay, I want to be talking about something else before I end this lecture. Things that you should avoid to sell properties. Like a lot of people have chatted me, a lot of my downlines have talked about it. Even independent people have been asking me, how do I miss some people will come with the disguise that okay, they want to buy land, then the next thing they will start making sexual advances towards, especially with the female sex. Sorry, I want to have just my camera. They'll start making sexual advances towards you, my dear. It's not only you. Your hustle is real. It's true. How to handle those kind of persons? It's simple. I don't, because of the fact that I feel okay, they are all potential clients that may buy one. So I have a lot of break yards. I don't know, people don't want to let me rest. It's my face so rough. Okay, so because you never can tell who will buy, or you never can tell if this people will bring somebody that will buy tomorrow. So do not be rude to them. I tell people to try and work on their temper. I had temper issues and I lost a lot of clients when I started this business. I lost a lot of downline because of my temper issue. So I worked on it greatly. So try not to turn them off rudely. Try to be very polite and apply wisdom. Just try to keep them in friend zone level. Just tell them, sir, please, I do not miss business with pleasure, this, that. And at the end of the day, you see that they will be on friend zone and they will respect your wish. Like, for example, now, one of my clients that bought one plot of land when we went on inspection some time ago, he said it in the bus on our way back that he remember chasing me some time ago. Okay, he actually met me on Facebook. Then he remember chasing me, but I turned him down politely and everything. So let's try to turn them down politely. Personally, I do not delete contacts because you never can tell who will buy. Then another thing again you should avoid is window shoppers. Okay, let me elaborate on this. Even if you like the person, the main fact that it's your potential client, please just try not to mix business and pleasure. Just try to keep it at the business level. That's the best advice I would give to any realtor. When you start mixing business and pleasure, it's gonna end up in tears. I bet you. Only a few do not end up in tears. So another thing you should avoid is window shoppers. I've been saying this. If you come to my DM and you tell me that you're looking for one kind of property, that you're looking for land in Iko, you're giving me body that does not, I will say you okay. Try to avoid window shoppers. Do not stress yourself, because sometimes when you're looking for properties, you spend your own money looking for property, and then they will tell you they will get back to it, they will not buy. So you are wasting your time and your money. So avoid window shoppers. Then remember to pray for your clients. I told you guys, always pray for your client. Pray that God will bless your client. Then always go on inspection. Always go on inspection. Going to inspection is very key. marketing one property, thinking, this property is very cheap. My dear, when I went on inspection with another company, I discovered that that property was like 800,000 naira more expensive than, or 500,000 naira more expensive than properties within the environment, because I felt, oh, this is the only one I'm going to, and I think I want another one in that same area that is like twice the price of this one. So I felt, oh, properties in this area are this. So going on inspection now makes you know that, okay, oh, there are cheaper properties, you get, and it makes you, it familiarizes you with the environment. And when you go on inspection, always shoot videos, shoot clean videos, good quality videos. So when you post those videos and client sees your pictures on those, sees you on those, they'll be sure that, okay, you've been to the place, so you know what you're talking about. Then have deals. See, forget about making the whole commission, forget about the entire commission that you will make. You can just tell people that, okay, we'll bring buyers, we'll share the commission 40-60 or 50-50 or 30-70, instead of losing. In short, I've gotten commission of 40% of my commission, because somebody brought somebody that brought somebody, but at the end of the day, the commission was a huge sum. I think it was about 5.1 million naira. So though the tax of 5%, just imagine my commission of 5.1 million naira, then I now have 40% of it. It's a lot of money. Instead of losing the entire deal, why not gain something? It's hundreds of thousands. If I was greedy, I want to get all the commission, I would have lost that hundreds of thousands I got. So just try and tell people to help you advertise. You know, Nigerians, we like to hear that you gain something. So tell them that, don't worry, help me to advertise. If you bring buyer, I will give you some money. It's another way of selling. It's another way of selling. I have done that and it has proven magic for me. So just keep advertising, and I bet you sell someday. So if you have any question on title and documentation, if you have any question, you come to my comment section down below, ask a question and I would answer you. You can come to my DM on WhatsApp, drop your question and I will answer you. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you did, see you're smiling, I can see you smiling, I know you did. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to share this link, and remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop another video. Do not forget to subscribe. Till we meet again, I remain your favorite real estate guru, your favorite landlord, your favorite Lagos-based lawyer, Omwene Victory Esquire. I love you all and see you in my next video. Bye.